Amid the grandeur of BTS's world concert tour, attended by millions of fans, a shocking incident unfolded when Jimin suddenly stopped his performance, approached Jungkook, and openly said, "I love you, Jungkook," in front of a global audience. The unexpected declaration instantly transformed the atmosphere inside the stadium into complete silence and brought countless ARMY to hysterical tears. Welcome to Jimin Gallery, the home for Park Jimin fans who want to discover all the latest news, interesting facts, and stories behind the world's spotlight on Jimin. A deeply moving and emotional moment unfolded in the middle of the magnificent BTS world concert, seemingly taking the breath away from millions of viewers and spectators. Amid the thunderous cheers, booming music, and a sea of ARMY light sticks sparkling like stars in the night sky, an unexpected moment suddenly transformed the atmosphere of the concert into something incredibly intimate and almost sacred. In the middle of the energetic closing performance, Jimin unexpectedly decided to pause the rhythm of his performance, which normally continued without interruption. His footsteps gradually came to a stop at the side of the stage, while the other members still appeared to be enjoying the music as the sound team slowly lowered the volume. The stadium, which had previously been filled with the sound of thousands of fans singing along, suddenly fell completely silent, replaced by a wave of curiosity spreading throughout the entire arena. Jimin's gaze appeared remarkably deep and sincere as he slowly approached Jungkook, who was standing not far away from him on the magnificent stage. Without hesitation, and gripping his microphone tightly with both hands, Jimin began speaking in front of tens of thousands of spectators watching in person and millions of fans following the concert through the live stream. His voice sounded slightly shaky, holding back a wave of emotion that seemed to have been buried deep within him throughout their demanding world tour schedule. With extraordinary courage, Jimin openly expressed what Jungkook's presence had meant throughout their lives and musical careers together. In front of the entire world, he described Jungkook as more than just a group mate, but as a younger brother and a kindred soul who had always given him strength during some of the most difficult moments of his life. The emotional climax came when Jimin, speaking loudly and with heartfelt emphasis, delivered a declaration of love directly to Jungkook. The words, "I love you, Jungkook," came from the deepest part of his heart, breaking through the silence of the night, and immediately touching everyone who heard them inside the stadium. Jungkook, completely unprepared for such an open declaration from his older brother, stood frozen for several seconds. His eyes, which normally radiated fiery energy on stage, slowly filled with tears as he struggled to contain his emotions over the extraordinary sincerity Jimin had shown in front of a global audience. Unable to hold back his tears any longer, Jungkook finally allowed them to stream down his cheeks as he returned Jimin's warm gaze. The overwhelming emotion quickly spread throughout every corner of the stadium, causing the other BTS members to feel the powerful wave of emotion unfolding on stage. In the audience, the sea of ARMY filling the concert arena could no longer hold back their emotions as they witnessed the closeness and emotional honesty shared by the two global stars. Sobs began echoing among the fans, who felt deeply touched by the pure and powerful brotherly bond shared between the BTS members. Many fans tightly embraced one another in the stands, allowing their tears to flow as they celebrated such a rare moment of honesty in the world of high-profile entertainment. Jimin's sincerity and willingness to break through professional boundaries in order to openly express his affection were seen as an incredibly touching expression of brotherly love. For ARMY, this was more than just an ordinary moment on stage. It became a powerful reminder that behind the glamour and global fame, BTS remains a group of young men who genuinely care for one another. The tears shed that night became a symbol of the long journey filled with sweat, tears, struggles, and togetherness that they had shared throughout the years. Jimin's courage to express his feelings without embarrassment offered a powerful inspiration to everyone witnessing the moment, reminding them of the importance of appreciating the people they love. He showed that an idol's greatest strength does not lie solely in the perfection of their performance, but in their ability to remain honest, sincere, and connected heart to heart. Jungkook then stepped forward and pulled Jimin into a tight embrace amid the thunderous applause of the audience, completing the magical moment and turning it into an unforgettable memory. The warm embrace beneath the stage lights seemed to speak thousands of words about a deep bond that time and distance could never break. That night's concert ended with an atmosphere that felt far warmer and more profound than many of the performances that had come before it throughout their world tour. Fans returned home carrying countless beautiful memories in their hearts, realizing that they had witnessed one of the most honest and emotional moments in BTS's journey. The moment when Jimin stopped the concert to express his love for Jungkook would continue to be remembered by ARMY as one of the most precious chapters in their shared story. The sincerity and courage displayed on that magnificent stage left an enduring mark that would forever remain in the memories of devoted fans and in the story surrounding BTS. As the atmosphere on stage grew even softer, Jimin once again raised his microphone to clarify the meaning behind his spontaneous gesture that night. With his voice still trembling as he held back tears, he broke the silence with words that seemed to shake millions of hearts. All this time, we may have often expressed our love through music and dance in front of all of you. But tonight, I want to say it directly from the deepest part of my heart to the person who has struggled alongside me through the darkest days, Jimin said, gazing at Jungkook with deep affection. I love you, Jungkook. Hearing such a sincere and unfiltered confession, Jungkook appeared to take a deep breath before finally responding into his microphone in hoarse voice. The tears that had already gathered in the corners of his eyes finally spilled over as he delivered an answer that was immediately met with emotional sobs from the audience. Jimin Hyung, you know I'm not very good at putting together sweet words in front of so many people, Jungkook said, his voice trembling intensely. But hearing you say that while we're standing on a stage this huge makes it feel as though all the exhaustion, fear, and burdens I've been carrying suddenly disappeared. I love you too, Hyung. Forever. The emotional exchange on stage immediately affected the other BTS members standing not far from them. RM, the group's leader, was seen smiling warmly while wiping the moisture from the corner of his eye, while Jin and J-Hope immediately stepped forward and wrapped their arms around both of them in a warm group embrace. V and Suga, watching the scene unfold, also nodded with understanding, realizing just how difficult yet beautiful the journey they had shared together as a family had been over the years. The extraordinary moment on stage did not remain confined to the stadium. It exploded across the internet almost immediately after the concert ended. Within minutes of the stadium lights going dark, various hashtags and phrases related to the moment began dominating the global trending topics on X, formerly known as Twitter. Millions of posts from ARMY around the world flooded social media, with fans sharing video clips, photographs, and transcripts of Jimin and Jungkook's words, accompanied by deeply emotional reactions. It was not only X that was overwhelmed by the response. The official fan community platform Weverse was also flooded with thousands of emotional posts from ARMY, who admitted they could not sleep because they were still overwhelmed by the atmosphere of the moment. Fans from different parts of the world wrote open letters and lengthy essays praising Jimin's courage in openly revealing his vulnerable and affectionate side in front of the public. Hashtags such as hashtag Jimin Jungkook and hashtag We Love You BTS quickly climbed to the top of global trends, with millions of posts reportedly appearing within less than 2 hours. This wave of heartfelt reactions demonstrated how what happened on stage was perceived as more than just a piece of entertainment or a publicity stunt. For many fans, it represented a genuine expression of affection that managed to bring millions of people together emotionally. Loving comments praised BTS for continually reminding people of the importance of vulnerability, brotherhood, and genuine love in a world that can often feel cold and distant. Even days later, the words, I love you, Jungkook, remained one of the hottest topics of discussion, leaving behind an emotional legacy that fans would continue to associate with the shared journey of BTS and ARMY. Meanwhile, psychologists and pop culture observers analyzing the phenomenon also offered positive perspectives on the potential psychological impact of such an open display of affection and support. Publicly expressing love and encouragement was viewed as something that could create a sense of emotional safety for millions of young people around the world, reminding them that they should not feel ashamed of showing vulnerability or expressing affection toward others. This further strengthened BTS's image, not merely as chart-topping pop icons, but also as emotional role models for a generation. For ARMY, who had accompanied the group since its early debut days on small stages until its rise to the biggest stadiums around the world, the moment represented. Amid the grandeur of BTS's world concert tour, attended by millions of fans, a shocking incident unfolded when Jimin suddenly stopped his performance, approached Jungkook, and openly said, I love you, Jungkook, in front of a global audience. The unexpected declaration instantly transformed the atmosphere inside the stadium into complete silence and brought countless ARMY to hysterical tears. Welcome to Jimin Gallery, the home for Park Jimin fans who want to discover all the latest news, interesting facts, and stories behind the world's spotlight on Jimin. A deeply moving and emotional moment unfolded in the middle of the magnificent